मास्क उतारो जी सीजन 2 में आप सबका स्वागत है। प्लीज मैं पहले कुछ भी बताने से पहले मैं आपको बोल रही हूँ अभी के अभी गो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू माय चैनल। यस, मास्क उतारो जी। आज मेरे साथ हैं एक स्क्रीन राइटर, यू कैन कॉल हर अ columnist, and she's one Vela person who does this Sunday club. You can imagine with whom? With Suhail Seth, Abhijit, Sandeep, Pallavi. Kitni Veli hogi, you can imagine. And they talk nonsense. No, I'm just joking. I think it's a very popular show. She's a YouTuber too, and a very popular one. Hi, Advaita.
Hi, Payal. I can't believe you took only their first names, like they're supermodels. Pallavi, like what? Pallavi, who?
Everybody knows.
Suhail, Abhijit.
They know them.
Please, you need to take their full name. They're not that big.
Abhijit Iyer, Mitra,
Huh.
Pallavi Ghosh, Sandeep Ghosh, Suhail Seth,
Correct. And Advaita.
Advaita. Oh, smart, smart. And Advaita. I don't think so. There's any other Advaita on Twitter.
Probably not.
Not. And no Advaita is doing Sunday show.
No one. Yeah.
So, yeah.
See?
Okay, Advaita, tell us about yourself. You interview people, so today I'm going to interview you.
No, I was so interested in your story because you were telling me such interesting things about your life that I had no idea. And I think that's the thing with social media, right? You only get one perspective of a person based on what they're tweeting and how they're projecting themselves or sharing
One
about
always
themselves.
keeps one's personal life separate and...
Yes, except unless you're Abhijit. In case there's no line there.
No, I think there's a lot of stuff, personal stuff. I think Abhijit. Nobody knows Abhijit.
Okay, tell us.
No. There's some childlike quality in it. Don't you think so? He's got that.
I think in all of us, even in you. I mean, even in me.
But I think Abhijit. I feel like he's a very sensitive person. People think he's emotionless, but I feel he's a very sensitive and.
I'm not going to praise him at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, that's not on brand.
Okay.
I can't praise him.
Reason?
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah. So now you tell us.
Well, of course, I'm a writer. I write films and books and columns. So that's my primary identity. If you kind of identify people by what they do. So that's what I do. And this whole Sunday Club thing just happened, like I was telling you, during COVID. We were all under lockdown and we thought that let's meet, let's hang out because we weren't getting to meet people. And that's how it started, and slowly it took on a life of its own. And 4 years in, we're still continuing with it as often as we can. But we all are doing different things, so it gets very difficult to do
all
it
over the
regularly.
world. You all everybody's globe-trotting half the time.
Yeah, that's true. We're very, very, very posh like that.
Yeah. High society types.
High society types. But even wherever they are, they do join. Like Abhijit is in Canada and Pallavi's in Sri Lanka. So if we have a Sunday club, then they'll find a way of being there.
That's so sweet.
Somehow. Yeah. Maybe not Abhijit, but Pallavi's good. Abhijit's a diva, like I said. I mean, he's given me excuses like I have an upset stomach.
Really?
Literally 2 minutes before we go live. And then I get trolled. Like, why is he not there? Why are you saying he's going to be there, then he's not there? I'm like, he's such a diva that one never knows with him.
The kind of fan following he has.
Yeah, he does.
And like, even people troll him also and then they go gaga over him also.
I think because he's just himself. And that takes a lot of courage.
But sometimes the replies to some of the trolls. They are like, oof.
Not for the faint-hearted.
Like, I have to send him a message like, Abhijit. Like, what was that? And I think his gossip column is also doing very well.
Yeah. Although I'm not a fan of gossip. But yes,
I immediately send him that tweet, who? And then he tells me. And then I get DMs, who? So now I can't tell them because they know मेरे को Abhijit ने बता दिया. Anyway, again we come back to Abhijit.
Is the show about him or me?
Sorry. You've been talking about him.
So, I'm trying to get us to TRT.
Advaita, you tell me, can I call you a right-winger? Or what ideology do you follow? Like, are you a centrist or what are you?
I think I lean definitely, more to the right at this point. But
why at this point?
Because, the way the whole paradigm has shifted. Right? So someone like me who's probably a centrist, moderate, normal person, because everything has moved to the right and the left has become so extreme that someone like me will also appear to be falling to the right. So, but yes, do I believe in cultural nationalism? Yes. So, in that sense, ideologically, I do believe in those things. If you want to call that right wing, I don't believe in right wing, left wing, those kind of isms. They don't
But are
work for
you
me.
like a very Sanatani person, or like you believe in dharma a lot?
I'm spiritual. I definitely have an appreciation for Sanatan Dharma, and I study it. I'm no expert at it, and I am very drawn to it. More, I've seen it all my life, so it's very much a part of who I am. But
Were your
it's
parents and all like to do that?
actually my grandparents more so, my mother, not so much my father. So it was that sort of upbringing, where
So did they
one
follow
was
any like a lot of rituals and all like
no,
that?
we're not ritualistic.
No?
We're not
But you do
ritualistic.
believe in Ishwar type, like
Yeah.
I
Of
don't like to
course.
call our Ishwar God.
I do a Rudra Abhishek every
Oh
once in a while.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Definitely
interesting.
do that. So, there are things that I do, but, they're just
So basically you're a Shiv Bhakt.
Ram also.
Ram also. Been to Ayodhya?
I've been to Ayodhya before the Ram Mandir.
Same here.
I've not been
And
now.
not even same here.
So Ram was very much, I'm from UP and, so, and
You go to
Uttarakhand. So
Uttarakhand, You're from Uttarakhand.
both places. My mother's from UP, my father's from Uttarakhand. So Ram is like
You did your, I
Tulsidas.
think, Sunday club or something there in Uttarakhand
Ha,
also,
if
no?
I'm there, I have a home there. So when I'm there, I do it from there.
No, I think these guys all went there or something.
No, they
Achha, no, it
wish.
was, achha, no.
Uttarakhand is not open to everybody. Come on.
That's mean.
It's true. We're very particular about who we let in.
Okay. Am I invited or not?
Yes, you can come.
Okay. Advaita, I had a long discussion on wokeism with Abhijit. Again, Abhijit Iyer. Okay, I'm clarifying. He gave some, his points were very good. The reasons he gave why this has emerged and it's like a disease now, wokeism, and we've seen this USA elections. And wokeism was the cause of Kamala's downfall, or her defeat. What do you think of wokeism?
I'm so over it. I just don't believe in it. I'm an old school liberal, and in that, what I mean by that is that this sort of political correctness, this cancel culture. I have a 5-year-old nephew who's an American, and he goes to whatever kindergarten or whatever it's called there, and he knows the word cancel. So my father once offended him over something, and he said, "Let's cancel Nana."
Okay.
So not only does he know the word, he also knows the context to use it.
5-year-old.
5-year-old. And he goes to a very kind of
That's scary, man.
let's hold hands and walk into the jungle kind of school. So it's definitely one of those lefty. One of his teachers is gender fluid and all of that. But that's the way it is.
But his parents are also like, are they like?
He's so young, so they wanted him to have like more of a upbringing where they're out more, and they do a lot of outdoor activities like go to the forest, go for a walk, because kids are just indoors all the time.
Yeah.
So they come from that space. But at 5, if you know cancel and you know the context in which it's used, then obviously there's some other kind of learning also going on at the same time.
Yeah, but it's a scary thing. I'm like very scared of.
I never ever thought
the way the people react these days, like them, there, don't call me her or she or
and
he.
that is the real fascism. It is thought policing
Yeah.
of a type that was not in sync with liberal values, but it's very much in sync with leftist ideology. So the leftists have hijacked liberal thought. And not just here in India, but everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You were asking me about my own ideological persuasions. I was not necessarily political or ideological, but I remember clearly meeting one of, I wrote a book first. That was my first entry, I guess, into the public domain. So that immediately opens you up. And it was a very successful book. So immediately I was part of the, the little party circuits, the book party circuits, and all of those, the intellectual circuits of Delhi. And I met, which is governed by the left, right? So I met a lady who was very high up, in that hierarchy. And I said something that was not in sync with what her thoughts were. And it was a dinner party, and she literally screamed at me in public at a dinner party, which was a dinner party of maybe 12, 14 people. So it wasn't like an event even.
They're very reactive. Huh?
And I was shocked. And I said, my God, what rudeness. And just because I don't agree with you 100% on something trivial.
That's the main problem they have.
And then alternatively, I started meeting with people from the right, or from the RSS more specifically. And I would say all kinds of things. And I never got that reaction. I said, there's something here then. Why do I have to conform to a certain thought process? I mean, I went to a liberal arts school. I've had that kind of exposure to liberal thought. I'm comfortable with liberal ideals. But this is not what I'm signing up for. And it was very revealing to me that the RSS pracharaks I met were far more liberal than this educated, high-profile, intellectual, well-traveled person. So it was a huge wake-up call for me. Yeah, and liberal is as liberal does, not as what is the definition.
My friends who follow this left ideology, I feel they screech a lot. Really, if you don't agree to what they're saying, suddenly they'll give you names. They'll label you as X, Y, Z, They love doing that. And they're so reactive that you feel it's okay, like just end the conversation.
That, and also to shame you,
Yeah.
And this was the thing, like, if you voted for Modi, I tweeted this today, then you were considered to be communal. You couldn't be voting for him because of his policies, because of his ideas, because of the offers that the change that he was promising to bring. You couldn't evaluate those things. There's no perfect candidate, right? But, you were then suddenly a communal person. And same thing in the US, you see. If you vote for Trump, then you're a racist, you're a bigot. Now, you can't keep insulting people for the choices they make.
But that's what they're doing to all Trump
They're doing it to everybody. I know of a lot of people, friends, because I went to college there, who have who have voted for Trump, but they don't say it publicly because they don't want to be ostracized. And it's kind of pathetic that this is the land of the free and the brave, but people are too scared to talk about who they voted for.
Like during Navratras, you have these trucks, even Kavadiya, they have these trucks with DJ. All those loud music playing, and truck ekdam guzarta hai aapke side se, so you can hear that music, loud music. So I've seen so many times my friends criticizing it or something. So if I'll say ki 10 minute ke liye you heard this and you're reacting, you hear azan 5 times a day, and especially people living in New Friends Colony, it's Sunni ka pehle azan hota hai, fir Shia ka azan hota hai.
Who does it better? Because, if a music has a beautiful voice, it's actually very beautiful. But unfortunately, most of them have really bad voices, and they just get amplified on the mic.
So I said you hear it 10 times a day. If agar 5 bari Sunni karta hai, 5 bari Shia. So, they suddenly get offended.
So you're so communal, why did you say that?
And then why are you doing Hindu-Muslim? I said, I'm just reminding you that you heard this like for 2 minutes. He was, the truck, we
just drove by,
and you criticizing it. Like 10 minutes you're talking rubbish about, Kavadiyas and, and
I don't know.
Their tolerance level is nil. And they are the ones who talk about freedom of expression and thought and everything.
Frankly, we're a noisy country, right? So it's okay. I mean, I'm a single person. When there's a barat on the road, it really irritates me because it's loud, it holds up traffic. Yeah. Maybe I have a problem with it for personal reasons. Okay. I'm joking. I'm just saying. But, we're a noisy country, we're a chaotic country. These are things that we deal with. And you just have to keep moving on. I mean, that's not anything worth losing.
Do you see any similarity between the leftist liberals of America, like West, and India?
Yeah, massively.
Really?
Massively. Now, not earlier. Not earlier. See, I mean, I was saying this. I was on Republic the other day, and I said this, that when I lived there, The Democratic Party was a very different party. The Democrats were liberals. They were old school liberals, liberals that like you and me would kind of feel very comfortable with.
Yeah.
Women's rights, gay rights, all of those kind of things.
Very
we don't
open-minded.
Very open-minded. We don't have a problem with people being treated well and being treated equally, right? We don't want people to be discriminated against. But slowly, slowly, they went into this thought policing mode, where they were just so autocratic. You're either on this side, you're 100% with us, or you're the other side, or you're dismissed.
Advaita, what I have noticed, what conclusion I've come to, that left ideology was dying. It was literally over everywhere. And then they needed a support. They needed some backing. So they took the backing from the Islamists. They joined hands with the Islamists. And then together, they were like, they are like very dangerous now.
I don't know how that's going to work out really, because it doesn't usually work out well.
New York Times, look at Washington Post, all getting funded by Qatar.
Exactly. So I think what you're underestimating is more than the ideological confluence. It is actually a matter of money.
Money,
right? So the money is talking. I mean, these governments have chairs. They have universities in Doha, which are like Northwestern, for example, will have a campus in Doha. There's a lot of money doing the rounds. So I don't necessarily think it's some sort of ideological comradeship. It's basically
they both hate each other. Communists hate Islam. Islam hates communists.
Islamists, you mean?
Islamists hate communists, and it's vice versa. But I think they don't have a choice, so they've joined hands, I feel.
Whether they join hands or they don't,
but they become very dangerous.
The way I see it, in Durban, Michigan, for example, the Muslims mostly voted for Trump. They didn't go with the leftist Kamala. They didn't. At the end of the day, people are people.
Sure?
Yeah, those are what the figures are saying. There was a good sizable Muslim vote for him, which because he's promising to end the war in Gaza.
Okay.
So that was what drew them in, and what Kamala and Biden have done is essentially let the war escalate. I mean, children are being killed, right?
Yeah.
So I think at the end of the day, net, most people want to coexist.
Yeah.
And they don't want violence.
Yeah.
And if people are seeing through these hollow promises, this big talk, it's all talk, right? Like the Congress does it here.
Yeah.
Muslims.
So much of similarity between their campaign and Congress's campaign.
But how has the Congress treated the Muslims here? They've used them as a vote bank. They've appeased Maulanas. So that
forgotten about the downtrodden and
the Pasmanda Muslims, the poor Muslims. I mean, the Sachar committee report, they've not acted on it. The Maulanas, they've kind of got them on their side, because then they say, okay, this is the bulk vote and we'll
all
get
the Waqf board property has gone to the Maulanas only.
Exactly.
Ashrafs only.
And I'm very glad that bill is coming in. So it's this hypocrisy that people are waking up to. Even those who are traditionally aligned with the left, like they were so sure in the US, for example, that the Hispanics are going to vote for them. The Hispanics said, no, thank you. In fact, this whole drama they did about the Puerto Rican and the insult in the Trump rally to Puerto Ricans and all. I mean, in Florida, which has the maximum number of Puerto Ricans, they voted for Trump.
Bloodbath. It was a bloodbath.
Yeah, because people are not caught up in, did you call me her or she or they, or did you I mean, these
American
are absurd things.
Mother, she tweeted, she said, I'm so relieved, like my daughter will go to a girls' loo now. And there'll be no guy there.
Yeah.
Being a she.
Absolutely.
And she said, my daughter will be in a dorm, which will be just a girls' dorm.
It's a safety issue, right? I mean, the UN has come out with a report that 900 medals have been lost by biological women to men. Olympics across some 28 sports. This is documented. How is this fair? And the left rides on this stuff. They want to push it more. They want to say, oh, no, let's have more of this. And normal people,
and they all justified every medal that the women lost. It was justified.
Yeah.
by these left.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. People, I mean, it's become unhinged. So when I say that the far left has just gone too far,
Too far, huh?
they've just gone too far. Now people just want to earn a good living. They want safety and security for their family.
True.
They don't want wars. They want people to coexist and build a life. Of course, there are elements who want to create trouble in every country. But the most people, it's really straightforward. And look, politicians are not like gods, right? You don't expect them to be perfect. So no one's looking at a politician and saying, oh, this guy is an avatar of some divine deity.
Messiah or something.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's just a guy and he has to check
And
most
then he's
of
a
your
politician
boxes.
on top
And he's a
of it.
politician, right?
So, yeah. He'll think of himself first.
Correct.
And it's not like my country first and all. These are all like, oh, this thing. See, there was an article on it that podcasters, YouTubers are able to influence the voters
Yeah.
in much better manner
Yeah.
than the mainstream media.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this election, I'm again talking about the US election
Yeah.
because when we're doing this has been the hot topic, but we've seen it here as well.
Yeah.
They have demolished the legacy media,
Yeah.
completely ruined them. So you think about Trump's, and these are the parallels, Payal? You think about Trump. He had no celebrities, A-list celebrities with
Yeah,
him.
nobody.
He had no CNN, no MSNBC, no NBC,
Like
no
same thing
ABC,
happened to
nothing.
Modi.
And that's why I'm going to draw the parallel. Modi, he had no celebrities. I'm talking about 2014. Now they all come running. But 2014, no celebrities. In fact, Amir Khan, remember the
Yeah, I
famous,
know.
my wife, who is divorced now, is so
He's very
scared
scared,
of being here. So it was the contrary. You had A-list
And even
celebrities
Shah Rukh
here.
Khan said that India is intolerant.
Correct. So it was actually the contrary, right? They didn't probably go on stage with Congress, but they were doing their bid. And here you had like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, everybody come out for her, and it came to nothing.
Julia Roberts.
Yeah. So this is actually a reaction to that sort of elitism of these privileged people who saying,
They were not sounding convincing also.
They were not sounding convincing. They were also doing a lot of the emotional talk. Now you tell me, if you're going to pay $7 for butter, that's the price it's at right now in the US. Are you going to care about Jennifer Lopez being on stage and crying? Because she's probably doesn't eat butter because it doesn't agree with her diet. And if she does, she's not buying it herself. So these people are so disconnected. And it's the same thing here. Congress, which is the principal opposition, not much of an opposition, but still technically the principal opposition, is so disconnected with the anxieties, the
ground
fears
reality
of the normal person. And for them, the easiest thing to say, oh, you're communal. That's why you like Modi. No, maybe I don't want corruption. Maybe I don't want your entitlement.
Maybe I want infrastructure.
Maybe
Good
I want roads.
Highways,
I want all those things.
And basic like Sauchalya, Nivas, Awas and all that. Yeah.
So their analysis is you're communal, you're a bigot. That's why you voted for Modi.
Fascist.
Fascist. I mean, it's
You're
so
a fascist.
stupid.
I want to talk about your trip to Ajmer.
I know you were threatened with inviting me, right? Like, don't invite her. She went to, I know, instead of Kala, I'm called Khala by some people. Luckily, I have a sense of humor. So if they think they're offending
I think
me.
you wrote something and then this one girl commented on it and I really laughed. She said, fraud right-winger and fraud Hindu. Now she'll go to Khwaja Ji or something like that.
It was a lady? Okay.
She said now she'll go to Khwaja Ji. So, what made you go there? And then, my God, you got trolled so badly.
But you only get trolled badly if you care.
No, it's not that.
Right?
But it was like something. For 2 days, I used to scroll.
2 days? They still trolling.
अभी तो कभी-कभी आता है ना, but that time तो for 2-3 days, you open the Twitter thing and it was only Advaita's Khwaja Ji Ajmer trip.
Luckily I also work in Bollywood. So, when you write a film and those are experiences that last for 2.5-3 years, you really put your heart into it and your time into it. And then the movie comes out and they're like 200 reviews in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
And they're people saying the nastiest
Just
things.
thing, yeah.
And it's your baby, right? So it's so personal. So what's happened is because of that
You
experience,
become immune by it.
I've become like a little tough when it comes to these things, you know, and I'm a woman who knows my mind, who knows exactly what I want to do, when I want to do it, where I want to do it. And I frankly don't owe anybody an explanation for it.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and if these people don't like me because I went to Dargah Sharif,
Too bad. Huh?
then too bad for them. They don't have to be my friend.
But you get nasty comments on your YouTube that Sunday show?
Oh, yeah, all the time. But Abhijit and all get more.
So your mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Huh? So as long
Who
as-
does not get trolled? Tell me today. Who does not?
They call me Auntie Ji, Buddhi, and I keep writing and I
Exactly.
keep posting कि please मुझे कुछ भी बुला लो, don't call me Buddhi and Moti.
You know, I mean, for me, it's really simple. If you're a good person, if you're an authentic person, I'm going to enjoy dealing with you. Whether you think like me, whether you're from my race, my religion, my economic status, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. And
What kind of a person you are, that matters.
yeah, and it's okay if you don't like me because I went to a dargah. That's fine.
And they don't know you.
They don't know me at all. I mean, if they invited me to their home, I'd come there as well.
Okay, now I'm going to do a rapid fire.
Oh no, I'm not very clever like with that.
Who's the most difficult person in your this Sunday club?
Oh wow, all of them? Do I have to pick one?
Yeah. Most difficult.
Abhijit.
Why?
Because he's very irregular. He doesn't dress up. He often doesn't shave also when he comes.
Is that the criteria?
Yeah, I mean, have you seen him appearing on other things?
Yeah.
He's like all
But he's
like.
got this one orange kurta and one, I think, one other.
At least he shaves. At least okay, he has no hair, so we can't fault him on that.
yeah.
Like you know, but I mean, dress up a little bit, look a little polished when you come. So yeah.
It's more. So it's a Sunday thing, now. So it's
That's
okay,
not the
justified.
point. When I see him elsewhere, I'm like, my God. He's like all shiny and, you know, your show, Smita Prakash's show, comes all dressed up and all.
No, mine also, like, he's always in his shorts and some t-shirt.
But your show you cut here, no? You told me when you came,
yeah.
when I came in.
Yeah, we cut here. Yeah. Now, who's most knowledgeable? Like, politically?
Me, of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like political, even
I
where-
think Pallavi is very sharp because politically, because she's on the ground and she really, you know, this is what I love about her. You know, she's not a diva. She doesn't want to sit in a, you know,
Yeah, she
studio
doesn't have an
and
attitude.
anchor. No, it's not even about anchor. It's about her passion, right?
Yeah.
And she's out on the field. She's going from location to location. She does it from morning to night. I've never seen a person so passionate about their job.
And she never says, I'm tired.
No, and remember, and she's got guts, right? The way she criticizes the Congress, she'll still turn up in their office.
Yeah.
And that to me is a true journalist, you know, because that's her right to be there. And it's her right to have an opinion, good, bad, ugly, whatever. And she owns it. So if someone, and you know, and if people are rude to her, which they are sometimes,
Yeah, a lot,
because
yeah.
politicians are so prickly, you know, she shrugs it off.
Yeah.
You're talking about being tough and trolling. I mean, imagine face to face. Like people are rude to you.
Rahul has been rude to her in the
Correct.
parliament.
Rahul Gandhi himself has been rude to her. And she knows how to shrug it off. And yet, she's never
He's
unnecessarily...
asked her to leave the press conference.
Press conference. Yet, she's never unnecessarily nasty about him.
Yeah.
She doesn't, you know, and that
She's
to me...
very soft even when she criticizes. She's
You know,
very
more than-
polite and...
More than soft, I
She's a
think
very affable
it's
person.
the mark of a true professional.
Wow.
Right? Because this is her job.
And she gets along with everyone.
Not everyone, but we were just discussing how Congress treats us sometimes.
Yeah, no, but what I mean to say is, end of the day, like, if you meet her once, you come to know, like, she's a very... There's something very nice about her.
She's very likable. Very likable. But coming back to her
knowledge.
She's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to politics, Indian politics.
A lot of clarity.
These guys don't let her talk enough, and she's usually eating.
Tokas,
all this nonsense. But she's the sharpest out of all of them on politics.
Yeah. So now 2029, Yogi or Modi?
Oh my God, either. It's fine.
Fine.
I'm down for whoever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
So now you tell me about, let's talk about some cabinet ministers.
Okay.
Nirmala Sitaram.
What about her?
Tell me, what do you think?
You know, she's a great orator. I didn't realize this about her because we don't hear her speak as much, right? Whenever we
Only
hear
during the parliament sessions.
and during the parliament, but very like specific things, right? She's answering a question.
I'm
or
quite
she's,
surprised to hear this, that she's a good orator.
Yeah, she is, because I went to a book launch. It was Vikram Sampath's book, and I was moderating that. And she had to come up and speak. And she spoke extempore. And she was just so good. So good. And I kept thinking, like, man, she should do more of this. Like, this is what we need to hear from her.
Yeah, because a lot of people I meet, like we meet industrialists or businessmen and all. So they always say that she's very abrupt, she's rude, and I always tell them that she's not rude or abrupt. That's the way she is. They find her rude. They find her. They say that she's very arrogant. That's the impression. Like that's what I hear about.
Yeah, because if you're a woman and you're not fluttering your eyes and whatever.
Is that for a finance minister?
I think part of it is that, frankly. Nirmala Sitharaman is a no-nonsense lady. She doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
Right?
She gives it off to Rahul also.
She's not going to mess around. So if this is so classic, like thinking of a woman as arrogant if you can't figure her out. You don't have to figure her out.
Everybody's underestimating her talent and her knowledge about the economy.
See, she's not a showman. She's not out there projecting herself. She's not giving you a sound
and she doesn't
bite.
have a PR machinery, doing PR for her and making
really?
her.
Okay. I don't know anything. Like I briefly interacted with her where she spoke in that event and she spoke extempore and she spoke very, very intelligently about a very serious, interesting topic about the creative arts and about the commitment that one should have in the public realm when it comes to the creative arts and to intellectual pursuits, And I thought she was brilliant. Different side of her. She was very, very articulate and very interesting. Now, you're not going to walk away with that saying, oh, this is a tweet-worthy statement. No, but that's not what she's about.
Yeah, but it's not pretentious and nothing. I think there's something, maybe she's very honest kind, so maybe she's got that people feel.
She's not about her saris, you can't say, oh, she wore this sari, although some of them try to do it. But she's really not about all of that.
Yeah.
She's about the job. She's about the job. And that's how she was.
Intelligent types.
Yeah, that's how she was even as a spokesperson.
Yeah.
She was on TV, yes. Every other night, yes. But she was really about the facts.
Yeah.
And I think young women need role models like that as well. Who are not like counting on femininity or being charming or being, in the social media era, having a quote a minute.
Yeah.
You can be different and you can form your own path.
Amit Shah.
Amit Shah, I really like him. He's the only person, Payal, in this entire government, in the 10 years, who has actually sent a letter out to writers. He sent us a letter. I was one of the people who received that letter. A 3-page letter on stamps that were released for Tulsidas ji's some commemoration. And Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha. It went out to writers. I think there were other sections of society as well, but it was a 3-page letter. And I said, here's somebody from this government who's actually reached out to writers. No one does. We don't bring that kind of, I guess, pizzazz. No one does, but he did because he's a reader himself. And that's, he realizes that this is a constituency, so to speak, which is under-acknowledged and needs engagement as well. So I really appreciated that about him. From what I've heard about him and the things also that he says, he's a very well-read person.
And he means business. Like this.
I like people like that.
Like that. Yeah, one Karyakarta was telling me that वो उनको 2010 में मिला. He met Amit Shah. And that 2012 or 13 ऐसे करके. And he said, I thought कि खत्म हो गया बात हुई. He said, I met him in 2015. He remembered my name. He said, I was shocked.
And don't you feel like he has a sense of humor, but he keeps it hidden?
Yeah.
I always get this sense of him.
I think the whole persona that develops is like, please, मेरे पास time नहीं है types का, बिड़ू time नहीं है, पंगा नहीं लेने का type. He's got that whole body language is that.
But I think he has a secret sense of humor, But
when he replies, especially with Rahul Kamal, he really, with Rahul Kamal, though he comes up with good ones. तो क्या करना है, ये करना है, the way he says that, and Rahul Kamal is like, okay.
But you know what he's also done as far as left-wing extremism and the Naxal belt
silently.
is he's just silently worked on it and finished it. Secondly, we've not had a major terror attack.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Knock
I'm
on
like
wood.
very scared. You know, the scared of this one because
Of
I also
mentioning
keep
it
bragging about it to people who are anti-Modi or anti this government. I keep bragging about this, and मुझे लगता है Congress or not Congress, but the opposition to prove their point, they might get it done. You know, one is scared.
No, you know, a terror attack is an inevitability. Okay, I hate to say this, but you know, this is an area which I track very closely and I read a lot about, and it's an inevitability. It'll happen at some point, at some place, in some circumstance.
But still, they're
That's
vigilant.
just the world we live in. But yes, is Amit Shah a guy who they would be scared of? For sure. Like I was just, 12 hours Trump has been back in office and Hamas has said we're looking for peace.
For ceasefire and all that.
So, you know, being a tough guy when you're dealing with these kind of issues is good. That's the kind of home minister we want.
But you know,
remember 2611 and Shivraj Singh, what was it? Patil.
Shivraj changing his clothes on the other.
Yeah. So you can't. In the world we live in.
And the CM took his son and Ram Gopal Verma to the site. Yeah.
No, I mean, Shah is no nonsense. And that's the kind of guy you need. Handling terror, handling left-wing extremism, handling the border.
He's done what he's done to Naxalites also.
Yeah, and handling the border. You need that guy in office. So I actually appreciate that a lot. I don't want him to be anyone else because I know that these guys are scared of him. And they need to be.
Mr. Rajnath Singh.
Yeah, everybody, I mean, can't be Jappi and,
he is like, and Mr. Rajnath Singh?
I don't know enough about him. But he does follow me on Twitter, so that's very flattering. I think, of course, I think he's...
Very soft.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Doesn't he give that vibe?
Like he's... Teddy bear types.
I don't know about teddy bear.
Maybe, but in the sense that maybe teddy bear is a wrong word. But
well, he is in your age demographic.
Yeah. No, like it's, not teddy bear is a wrong word. I think mehuna types, like he gives that feeling, that protective and...
He's actually, I think, he's just been around forever, right? He's been chief minister, he's been BJP president, he's been defense minister, he's been home minister. So these are just those kind of people.
Teddy bear goes well with Amit Shah.
No, I like the tough guy. I like that, like, don't mess around, gangster. Yeah, because those are the kind of people, challenges he's dealing with. So I'm happy he's the way he is.
Jay Shankar?
Again, I think he's okay, he's good. I think I would like to see, Prime Minister is the longest serving global leader as of now in the world. He's been the longest in office. So I would really like to see our country and the Prime Minister really do more when it comes to these global conflicts. Because even now, of course, Trump will have a line open to Putin. But in the last couple of years, Biden was not even talking to Putin.
Yeah.
Prime Minister Modi is the only person who could speak to Zelensky, who could speak to Putin, who could speak with the Palestinians, could speak to Netanyahu.
And I somehow feel like West needs India.
Needs someone like that. And
needs India.
Yeah, but I think Jay Shankar, we've the last couple of years have been very tricky on a geopolitical scale. But India has managed to navigate it without getting into the crosshairs with anyone, without getting into any really ugly space. We've even resolved like China, right? Except for Canada, because Trudeau.
Gone crazy.
And whose policy will now change because Trump has come, because Trudeau has no policy of his own. He has handlers.
I think he'll lose now. I don't think he'll come back.
Who cares?
Yeah. But the whole Khalistan thing does affect India.
Yeah, it does.
And it does affect Hindus there,
Well, we've also sent Abhijit there now to Toronto to take care of it.
Yeah.
So
वो सब कुछ solve कर
he just needs to sit on them.
Yeah.
That's it. Huh?
Gadkari ji.
Now he's the cute one.
Yeah, teddy bear types.
He is building this highway to Dehradun, which is not only going to lessen the time, but it's actually very beautiful. It's an elevated road.
Okay.
And it'll go through the jungle at one point. Okay. So I'm a huge fan because
A lot of people in Dehradun voted for BJP because of Gadkari.
Yes, and the thing is that I'm not a comfortable flyer. So I love my trains. I love my road trips.
Even road trips, I like, but short distance, 3 hours, 4 hours max.
No, I can aram se do them. As long as there are brakes and all, I can aram. And the highways have become so good now. I've been on that new Mumbai highway.
Now it takes 6 hours from Delhi to Dehradun.
Less. I mean, yeah, but approximately 5.5, 6. When I was a kid, it used to take 9.5, 10 hours.
And your kidney going to where your liver is and your liver going where your heart is.
Yeah. I mean, he's done bypasses from Meerut and Modi Nagar, and these were places that were like, you could get stuck there for like hours.
I remember Ghaziabad ka that road.
Yes.
Ghaziabad to
Indirapuram,
take like 2.5, 3 hours.
Horrible. So he's been brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And I'm really on board with his e-vehicle push.
You are?
Yeah. I bought an EV also. So I'm really on board with that. I think that's very responsible.
You're happy with it?
I'm very happy with him.
But you're not doing long distance in it?
Not as yet. But I plan to try it out.
It gives like what, 100% battery, it gives like
203 kilometers?
With 100%.
Which is domestically is not bad. Like, I mean, in Delhi.
Obviously, I thought 30, 40, max you'll go 50, 60 kilometers.
Exactly. 70 kilometers. Like from Gurgaon to Delhi, maybe a meeting, maybe another one, back, maybe 100 kilometers.
So you drive yourself?
I do drive myself. I mean, I have a driver today, but I do mostly drive myself. But I like to. I think it's important also. It keeps you free, not dependent on anyone. I hate being dependent on anyone.
Now, last question.
Okay.
But not the least. What is Mr. Modi fighting against?
It's like the Tupac album, right? Me Against the World.
Yeah.
It really does feel like that sometimes. This is an incredible man. I always say that he is India's FDR, which is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Because he's come with an idea, with a thought for this country. If you
his agenda is very clear.
And if you want to think of him as an ideology, you're making a huge mistake, because he's about an idea, and that idea is really about what Bharat can be going into the future. And he's working on it day and night. Anytime you feel like you don't want to work, and I feel that very often, I just think of Prime Minister Modi. I mean, I'm not being facetious, or the man works non-stop.
During Navratras.
He's working then also. Water. I mean, consistently. I mean, it can't be fun. He has a zero personal life. Okay? He's just at it. He's either inaugurating this, or he's planning that. He's going here, he's going there.
He's making all the nincompoop MLAs and MPs of BJP win elections.
Oh, God. Yeah. Don't get me started on that. But, I mean, my whole thing is, I recall, just see where he's come from. When he first started going abroad, or when he met Obama, he called him Barack. And these elitist snobs in Delhi.
And he said Doland and...
So what? Yeah. So what? Do they know how to pronounce Narendra? Do they know how to pronounce Advaita?
No, why? They call Bhandari Bandri.
Yeah.
They can call Bhandari Bandri.
Yeah.
But we can't make any mistake.
No, and the way they said, he's calling him Barack, and he thinks he's too big for his boots. I was like, you're the slaves. And today...
Colonized mind.
Yeah, you're the slaves, if you think
like that.
Did a
good job, no?
Yeah, but look at him today. He is one, if not the most respected international leader today, as of now. He's the leader of a democracy, the largest democracy in the world. He has been elected by popular mandate in a free and fair election for the third term. He's maintained his popularity, his level in discourse.
He's been very consistent.
He's been tough, but he's never had a knee-jerk reaction. I mean, you asked me why I think the Americans and Canadians are going after us is because they thought we would be Ukraine and we would fight with China for the Americans. The Democrats
bought oil from Russia.
Russia, yeah,
and he saved us.
Yeah.
And look, Kamala, she also lost because this was also one of the...
No. And the thing is, I mean, he's not going to, na jhukenge. Now, when he says it, he means it.
Yeah.
And the other thing...
about being India being Vishwa Guru. Since 2014, he's been saying it.
He's been saying it, but he's also been acting on it.
Acting on it.
You know, and I feel like the way they condescended to him was so ugly, so
They
elitist.
still do it.
No, let them. I mean, but now they're so irrelevant. But then they had some traction. They had big channels. They had big, newspapers where they could talk down to the popularly elected prime minister of a country like he was a peon or someone. Nothing wrong with being a peon. But the way they would, but from their perspective, that's how they were talking to him. I found that so hurtful.
Yeah, even I. I
to-
get very upset.
Yeah, I found it very hurtful because what are Rahul Gandhi's qualifications? Okay,
What are
and
his achievements?
I'm being very objective. I'm saying qualifications as a leader, as an administrator, compared to Modi.
Modi,
Only that he was born into the right family. So everything he does is fine. India Today will print a cover story for him year after year for some excuse or the other. They're already doing it now also.
Huh?
That Rahul has done better than
Yeah.
Kamala and some nonsense.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I found it so hurtful that you would treat a human being like that, who's just well-meaning, at least in this context, right? He's meeting the leader of a very powerful country as the Indian Prime Minister. He's well-meaning. He's not playing any games. So I found and I think a lot of Indians did find it hurtful because most people in our country will say Doland or Donald or whatever.
Or Barack.
Or Barack. They will speak like that because guess what? We're Indian.
Yeah. Like he said schedule. That time also they made fun of him in British that UK Parliament. He said schedule or something.
How
So
sad.
they said he's not saying schedule, he's saying schedule.
Yeah.
They're very
Horrible.
yeah.
You know,
he takes it so gracefully.
Gracefully?
He's never reacted. He's not put anybody behind bars.
See, now you know why I don't react to Kala and Kala and
Oh,
when they call Modi Maulana Modi, then what am I?
Yeah. Like today when Tehseen, I was interviewing him. So even he couldn't find words to criticize Mr. Modi. He was saying BJP, but he didn't. I said you can say anything you want to Tehseen because no Karnataka, no Haryana police or
No, but
Uttarakhand
Tehseen
police.
is different. He's gracious. He's not rabidly hateful. He has his opinion and he'll be critical, but he's not rabidly hateful.
Yeah. Like he will say that.
Oh wait.
Time okay? Okay. So then let's end here.
Yeah.
So it's going for another interview now?
Yeah.
Or another debate?
Just a debate.
Okay, for 20-30 minutes. Huh?
40.
Chalo. Enjoy. Thank you so much, Advaita. And we'll do this again. We shall do it again. And please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Mask Bataroji. Please.
Please like, share, subscribe to Mask Bataroji and support our dear sister Payal in her endeavors to conquer the world.
Yes.
Of you starting with YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you.